What's going on, guys? This is Carl with the Racerred channel. As you can see, I'm riding a mighty 2019 Honda CRF 125F. Today I kind of wanted to discuss in more depth stuff that I have discussed before, and that is science versus religion. And I kind of wanted to stick to that topic for a little bit and talk about it, like I said, more in depth, because I have not done that. I've always gone off onto other topics, and it's such a complex topic, and it's up to each person to decide. Nobody knows. And like I said, science will tell you a story, but they don't know. Nobody even comes close to knowing. The most ridiculous answer, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion, but the most ridiculous answer is the Big Bang Theory, because of things I've discussed before. You know, the space that what we call space is expanding into shouldn't accommodate an expansion like that. And not only that, but matter came out of nothing. That's impossible. And it came out of a pin point, the size of the point of a pin. That explosion came out of that, according to popular science, current science, and created all these planets and, you know, all these perfect circumstances for life to exist. And somehow biological life came to be because of that on this planet. Anyway, and I think that's highly unlikely. It's just a crazy scenario, and it doesn't make any sense to me. But also, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like religion makes all that much sense. And I think that a lot of the reasons why I have kind of been grossed out by certain religions is not because of the religion itself, but because of the people inside that religion. And because here in the US we have all kinds of different religions, and they all think they're 100% correct. Well, and most of them think they're 100% correct. There's always this moral superiority complex that goes along with it. And unfortunately, I'm probably gonna make some people mad, and if you get triggered by this kind of topic, I have other videos you can watch. You might want to click off of this one, because I'm going to say the negatives on religion. I'm going to say the negatives on the science, which I believe is a religion now. Because as Martin Lawrence once said, I'm a student of human nature. I kind of analyze situations like this and really look at them, and the Mormons or LDS people that I have met throughout my lifetime and worked with directly, they many of them, and not all of them, this is not all of them, but many of them have some things in common. And that is, they want to do works in order to gain some kind of superiority over their fellow man. And that, I think, creates and manifests some really bad things. What I've seen is that people tend to do bad in private, and they will be good, like beyond good, in public. I kind of got a tippy toe. I guess I don't have to tippy toe, but I just don't want to be rude or mean. I mean, because the people I know who are LDS are great, don't get me wrong. So, moving on from that, you have the Muslim religions and the Quran, and we are brought up to believe that these people are evil and they are out to kill all the Christians. I have yet to read the Quran through, or even, you know, I've read like very, very little Quran, but it's not true any more than when you read the Bible. It's not any more true than, you know, the violence that you see in the Bible. So, I mean, the Bible, literally, an angel gets sent down to chop this guy's son's head off, or he tells the father to chop his son's head off to sacrifice him for God. And then God was like, "Oh, just kidding. I just wanted to see if you're loyal." How screwed up is that to do to somebody? I mean, there's lots of instances like that in the Bible. And to me, it's like, holy crap, are you kidding me? There are a lot of other issues I take up with the King James Bible. I only talked about the Quran a little bit because I don't really know it. We're brought up to believe that they are evil, wicked people who want to kill us, but I don't see that as true. I think they are brought up to bring as many people into the religion as they possibly can, and I think that's true with any religion, really. The only one that doesn't do that, and you would call it a religion loosely, the Buddhas. But anyways, Buddhism. Duh. Anyways, going back to Christianity, there are topics inside of that really do bother me. Like, how the world that we live in and how so many children die young. I feel like we're brought here in order to take the test of life, I believe that's kind of what Christianity teaches. And if that's the case, then you're brought here to take the test of life, and if somebody drops out early before they have a chance to prove themselves, that's not fair. And the Bible says God is an ultimate judge, or the perfect judge. And you can't, in my eyes, you can't judge anything that's not fair. So how is that even possible? So there's some real contradictions inside of the Bible and paradox that really bother me. Somebody is born with a disability, they just get an automatic into heaven, or how does it work? Real problems with that side of things as well, and nobody has the answers, and it's okay not to have the answers. I'm more on the religious side of things. I'm not LDS. I would probably fall under Christian because that's what I believe the most. I do believe in a higher power. I don't see how things could possibly exist without the higher power. And I think the argument against that is, well, who created God then? Or the paradox, can God create something so heavy that he can't lift it? Because he's all powerful. Well, you could ask that same question of the Big Bang Theory. Well, what created the Big Bang? What created the element, or whatever you believe that little dot was that exploded? What created that? What was before that? And in both scenarios, you have to do something that humans are really incapable of doing. And I think after my thought process and how much I've thought this whole thing through in each religion, and that includes the Big Bang and science, I think that in each scenario, hi cows, you have to come out of the idea that time exists for me, and we can't even fathom that it's a thing that doesn't exist elsewhere. I mean, that's what you have to drop out of your mind. I'm hitting all these bumps. That's what you have to drop out of your mind in order to believe in both a higher power or the Big Bang Theory. And it makes way more sense to me that it's a higher power, and if you drop time out of the equation, then it makes sense. Anyways, I hope that explains in greater detail on how I look at things. Buddhism believes, obviously, well, not so obviously to some probably, Buddhism believes that connection is the source of pain, and that you shouldn't be too connected. I don't know about that. It's true, but I do believe that wholeness is inside of connection as well. There's a depth to people that can't be found outside of that. And in Buddhism, you're taught basically that you accept things as they are, and that's not to say that you don't improve upon your current situation, but you accept them, you accept whatever the way it is, and that includes yourself. There are concepts within Buddhism that I believe strongly, and that is one of them, and that's something that society rejects in all forms. You're just fine the way you are. You can be happy the way you are, and it's okay to be that thing that you are right now. But when you go to take your next step, take it better. And no matter how you acted yesterday or today, no matter what you said, it's okay. You're human. Everybody is. We're all the same. We all have the same problems. And one of the concepts is active ignoring, which is what people do when they don't accept themselves truly, like I am talking about. And active ignoring, it manifests what I was talking about earlier, a community of liars, or a community of where lying is like a daily thing that's accepted, and you won't just admit any faults. And that's one thing that I've become pretty decent at, is accepting that I do have faults. And if somebody points them out, I'm like, yep, you sure are correct. I'm pretty sure you have the same ones, but you're refusing to look at them. And I think that is a part of Buddhism that is beautiful. It really is. I mean, it helps so many people. But what if you are just happy? It's okay to be happy. You can be who you are. And no matter if you screwed up, if you didn't handle the situation the way you wish you would have, the thing that I think is that you should look at those things and not ignore them, and then accept who you are. You accept it, and be kind to yourself, because everybody else is the same way. Everybody's just wearing a mask. Everybody wears masks. A lot of people do. I shouldn't say everybody. There's a lot of disciplines in Christianity that I really resonate with and that I really appreciate, and they have the same values as me. And I'm really close to a lot of Mormons, and they have a lot of the same values as I do. I value their disciplines. They teach a lot of the same things as what I was just talking about, that you should love your neighbor and not be judgmental, and all the stuff that is coming from people that steers people away from religion. That's just people. That's what a Christian or an LDS would call Satan, is anybody who's doing something besides loving the people around them. That is Satan. Call it what you will. That's the negative, and that's not how you be happy. I've come from a lot of different environments. Pretty early on in my life, one of the things that I viewed life as was a checklist. I want to do certain things before I die, and it doesn't mean I want to be the best in the world at any of them, but I want to experience all these different things, go to all these different places and experience different things, and be in the military, and just for the experience. And I think that it really has given me a different outlook on people as a whole. And I do think that people are good as a whole. They just want to love and they want to be loved, but they feel this judgment on them. And that's where all the negativity and nastiness comes from, I think. I have weight issues, so I'm just going to focus on somebody else's thing that I see that they are self-conscious about. I'm going to reflect that on them and echo it. And it goes around and around. So I think that to really understand what we need to fix about ourselves and how we treat other people is to understand what people regret in life. And I was looking at this study that asked what men regretted most. The answers were very similar among the people who were middle-aged to the people who were on their deathbed. And the answers for the middle-aged were that I was not strong enough. That's so sad. And then for the people on their deathbed, the biggest regrets were that I was not courageous enough. I didn't take enough chances. And that's also very sad. I think it's sad to have any regrets, but they are unavoidable. You know, those people that had those regrets, how are they going to treat other people if they felt that they were too weak? They're going to treat other people like they are the ones who are too weak, right? Ones who don't take enough chances, who weren't courageous enough. Basically the same thing. They're going to treat other people that way. That doesn't mean we don't improve. Again, go back and remember, I'm saying that I really do believe that as people, we need to always be improving, but go easy on yourself. Not always going to be Superman. Basically, all I'm saying is remember that it's okay to be human, and remember that it's okay for other people to be human, and try to treat other people well. And that starts with forgiving yourself for your human traits. Basically, people just want to be loved. So figure that's what I suggest that people just, I do think you should ask the questions of the universe and consider them fully for yourself, and consider all the things, but also understand that you're not going to find a definite answer. It's just the answer that you've come up with. But I do think it's important to consider the questions. When you're done with it all, be nice to other people, because we're all here and then we're all not. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.